The Hardrockers host Minot State this Saturday at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium. The kickoff is set for 1 p.m. now this Saturday. And Dan, if you would have told me before the game at Missouri Science that we would get 22 first downs, have almost 300 yards of total offense, and control the ball for just over 31 minutes, and the score ended up the way it did, I would have said you were nuts.
Well, most people would. You know, it was a tough situation. You know, they had some really good athletes on both sides of the football. We did some things well on offense, and moved the ball, and we did have a turnover that hurt us. But you know, the reality check is, you look in Division II and the athletes and the number of scholarships and so forth. I make a comparison with South Dakota State going and playing University of Illinois, one AA school and a Division I school, and there's about the same kind of equivalency difference in scholarships as we have now compared to what Missouri S&T or most of Division II has. So if you can recognize that we have a way to go to continue to recruit and up the level of athletic ability of our teams, I think that's a reasonable comparison.
You know, one player that caught my eye Saturday, and he's played spot duty, of course, behind Jamie Dale, is Lucas Van Locken, and I thought he ran the ball very well out of the Wildcat. In fact, he had 11 carries, averaged, got over 60 yards in those 11 carries, and I thought he did a good job.
He did a real good job, and when we recruited Lucas, and he played limited last year and sparingly, but to this year, with what we're doing, and we're running a little bit more downhill, and we're getting a little bit more push up front, in the last couple of weeks that we've been playing. He's an ideal fit, and he's a tough kid, hard runner. But he's missed a practice this week. He had a concussion in the game, so we have to be cautious about that. And those kind of situations. If we get him healthy, he's going to continue to be a real asset for the offense.
Let's talk about Minot, a team last year. You went up on the road last year and beat them up there, then lost to them at the Fargo Dome at the end of the season. They're also in the transition to D2. They're struggling. What kind of a team do you see in the film?
Well, they're pretty much the same team as they were last year. Defensively, they might be even a little bit better. Offensively, they're kind of in a transition with quarterbacks. They're playing two separate ones, and quite frankly, they're both pretty good. But one maybe has a tendency to run the ball a little bit more than the other. But they're a very similar team. They have a few more guys back on both sides of the football than we do. But it'll be a good game. You're going to see two really hungry football teams out there Saturday wanting to win.
The kickoff is at 1 o'clock, and when you look at them defensively, Dan, as we attack them with our offense, anything in particular catch your eye that you might be able to exploit?
Well, what catches our eye first is how good they are in certain spots. You try to find that weakness, and we didn't find it this week. But up front, they're very physical up front, and one of the keys would be if we can continue to run the ball halfway effectively, then we can mix our passing game in and have some success. But it's going to depend on how effectively we can run the football on them.
It's Minot State and the Hardrockers again this Saturday. Kickoff 1 o'clock at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium. And we want to thank First Interstate Bank for sponsoring the game this weekend to benefit the Hard Rock Club Scholarship Program. This is Hardrocker Highlights for Dan Kratzer.